Well, welcome back to Sal Marriage Coaching. For those of you that might not know, it is actually National Marriage Week.
Yeah,
It
yay.
actually started last Saturday. It goes from February 7th to February 14th, obviously leading up to Valentine's Day. It is celebrated by more than 23 countries
That's crazy.
and really is just a time to celebrate love and lasting marriages. And because our heart beats for healthy marriages and couples that are thriving and know how to walk out conflict and thrive in their marriage. We figured it'd be a perfect time to spend a little bit of time talking about it, but as well, give you guys some free resources. So every day this week, we want to at least give you a tool to put in your hands and just help you in your marriage.
And encourage you. So, yeah. What makes this week so fun is that there's actually a week dedicated to the importance of marriage, to the actual, like how vital marriage and healthy marriage is even in our society. Like sometimes we're just like, oh, it's just for, oh yeah, it's really good for the family, you know, to have good marriages. Yeah, that's awesome. But to think about it on a societal level, that healthy marriage, whole families actually affect the very fabric of society. So it's not something that's just to be taken lightly. There's actually a lot of weight to having healthy marriage and to have something that you can actually build upon. So I love that this is a thing because I feel like it is so important to highlight, especially going into Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And how often do we actually take inventory of our marriages and where we are and have an understanding in seeking our spouse's opinion and feelings on where they think the marriage is and how healthy it is. So that leads us to our first resource of National Marriage Week. So it's something that I like to call the 6-month life checkup. And there are two aspects to it. You know, one of the things that I don't think get talked about enough is the priority of God and Jesus in our lives. Because really our marriages shouldn't come first. God and our relationship to God should come first.
Yeah.
So if that's true, God's first, our spouse is second, above everything else. The first step is having these questions with Jesus.
Yeah.
How am I doing in my time with you? What needs to change? How can I grow in my relationship with you? How am I doing reading the word? How are we doing giving?
Yeah.
The second aspect of this is our relationship. Remember, God first, then spouse. So in priority, the second piece would be asking these questions within marriage. The first is my life reflecting marriage being my second most priority in my life? How many of us is that true of?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The second would be around time management. Are we making proper time for each other? Because I'm sure spouses have a lot of opinions about that.
Yeah.
And then third, how are we doing sexually? Because we're going to have a deep dive into that conversation in itself. But what's true is couples that are happily married couples that are thriving typically have a good sex life and are connecting regularly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So those are the three main questions that we would ask within marriage.
Yeah.
So I call that the 6-month life checkup. You know, twice a year, if you're asking these questions, especially specifically the marriage questions with your spouse, I think you're going to have a greater understanding of what they're thinking, what they're feeling, where their opinions of where the marriage is in that moment.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what steps might need to be taken to rectify what seems to be lacking or needs to be improved.
Yeah. So awesome. And honestly, sometimes it could be super eye-opening because, I mean, maybe one spouse is super aware of the needs that are not getting met or the disconnect, and another spouse is completely oblivious to the fact that one spouse is feeling very unseen or very unheard. And maybe the spouse that's feeling super unheard isn't even really knowing how to cause themselves to be heard. And so these questions just allow for that space to be created so that the couple can actually sit down and be like, hey, how are we doing? Like how many times do you do that in a relationship. I mean, I don't even know how many times I'm thinking about it. How many times have I done that in a friendship? And this is like the most important relationship below our relationship with Jesus, to just be like, hey, so how are we doing? You know, maybe you're doing awesome. That's great. At least be aware of it, though, of like, yeah, no, we're doing awesome. We're connected. This is great. Or like, hey, maybe that's not the case for both of you. So it's a great way to check in and see.
Yeah. So your first free National Marriage Week resource tool. Yeah. We'll have more coming all week this week.
Yeah, stay tuned.